Hey, what's up, y'all? My name is Antonio, AM Productions. I'm just gonna tell you about my time and my experience working with Dr. Umar Johnson on the film Awaken. I was lead cinematographer and editor, and I'm gonna tell you pretty much my story of how it all went about. How I ended up being part of the film was Mary Ann reached out to me through a mutual friend that was also a filmmaker. She said she needed a second cameraman ASAP. Met Mary Ann. I didn't even know who Dr. Omar was at the time. I thought he was just an actor. She gave me a rundown of the script. We didn't have the time to go over like how many days or what we are doing because I was supposed to have been backup guy. I was just there specifically to take photography behind the scenes and to get B-roll footage for the main cinematographer. So first time I met him, it was that was when the pool table scene, and that was the love making scene. The funny stuff was just like the love making scene. He had a lot of like I remember a lot of issues of how to go about it. And back in my head, I'm like, you're just an actor. Like, just what you doing? You're supposed to even just listen to whoever's the director or producer. Marianne was there also. I met Marianne. So pretty much he was uncomfortable because to do the lovemaking scene, the angle we got there, if you look at the film, I had to stand on top of him, like not stand physically, but I had to stand like over him, like my legs is open, I got the camera going down, and I'm a short dude, so I mean it's uncomfortable for everybody, but that's how you got to be, and I know he was uncomfortable with that. One thing I started noticing about him was like every time we were doing public scenes and stuff like that, he was getting like so much love, people just dabbing him up everywhere he goes. I was like, who is this dude? But before that, like I was kind of clashing with him because every time we would like sit down and we would talk, everybody getting to know each other, like break time and stuff like that. One time we went out to go eat, and like he's spitting this stuff about Pan Africanism and all this other stuff. I'm from New York City, so my knowledge of that kind of stuff, I was just like, you sound like a 5%er. Like who? Like you sound like a 5%er. The dudes that be on the corners of on North Street on Brooklyn on Nostrand Ave just spitting nonsense, 12 tribes of Israel and all that kind of stuff that everybody walks by. They just like roasting them on the mic. So I'm like, yo, you sound like a 5%. Like, what does it matter? Like, he's speaking his jargon, everything that he says. I was just like, where you from? And he was like, he from the streets of Philly and stuff. So I was like, before I know who he even was, Dr. Omar and Pan Africanism, I already knew right then and there. I was like, oh, okay, so you a street dude. So okay, I get your vibe now. You a hustler. I get it. He a street dude. So then after that, I mean, we were doing a barbershop scene, and it was nighttime, and we were just on break. But everybody kept dabbing him up. So I asked him, I was like, "Yo, who is you?" And that's when he explained to me that he's this whole thing, and I was like, Dr. Omar, okay. I still didn't get it, until like one time I put a photo up on my Facebook. Like, hey, I'm doing a film. This is the cast, or whatever, and I showed him, and like my phone just started blowing up. I was just like, people call me like, yo, Dr. Omar? I'm like who's Dr. Omar? And they were like, the guy that you working with. I was like, yeah, how you know him? They were like, yo, he's this and he's that. Look him up. I was like, oh, I ain't even know. I was like, tell you the truth, he's kind of an asshole. Like I'm chilling. I'm trying to work with him, and he's like so difficult. I was like, that's crazy. Now it all makes sense why he had that kind of like prima donna, that diva attitude. How overall feel about the film Awaken? He only gave us like two, barely 3 days of shooting. Like if you look at that film, there's a point where he mentally checks out. Like he's just like zombie-eyed because we had him waking up at like in the morning, like 6, 7 in the morning. You know what I mean? And I'm like 2, 3 hour drive away, so I was out there. I had all my stuff, all my equipment in the car. I'm gone. I'm out there. I'm doing what I'm doing. That's what I do. So there's a part where like I don't know. I got like he like the first time I met him, he was dedicated to the shoot. Then like after that, it was like he just was like just like checked out. He just wanted to get it over with, and he only gives like 2 days. And like the way the movie portrays him as like womanizing and hustling, whatever. There was supposed to have been a redemption arc. There was supposed to have been a reason why like he got rivals and he's sleeping with this woman, that woman. He's supposed to have gotten caught and he has, he gets chewed out by his woman, almost break up. He works it out. They work it out. They come together stronger, and then like he fixes all his problems, and then at the end he gets the school and he does the fist pump. There was like a whole arc to it. There was a beginning, middle, and end. He only pretty much gave us a beginning and an end. He ain't give us the middle. So I had to work with what I had doing the editing. The editing was very difficult because I'm telling the producer, um, Lorient Productions, Marianne, I'm like, all we got is this man sleeping with women. That's all we got. That's what we got is him just womanizing, and that's the best we could do. And then like he didn't want to promote. He didn't want to promote nothing. He didn't want to let everybody know who was part of it. He didn't want to give nobody a shout out. Nothing. I was just like, damn, who's this guy? Like, think he is? We put in a lot of work on that. It was shot great. The angles, everything was good, but his heart just wasn't like. I don't think he never was. I can't even say what his problem was. It's just I know I hear all the stuff that he be doing, hustling, whatever. That ain't me to speak on. Like, but I don't know. Like, I think overall the movie had potential to be really good. It did, but you can only work with what we got. I can't like CGI him into. Well, now we can. Technology is crazy, but this is like 2021, 2022. So we ain't have all that AI stuff like the way it is hard body now. The first scene when he's at the museum, the African museum, he's doing the speech. Now the thing is, this is a film. I mean, he filled up the whole place. All these people came to come see to be in this film as like people in the background, like just filler to fill up the museum and stuff like that. So he comes in here and he actually gave a speech, and I'm like, no, I have to edit this together. We only got like 2 cameras, brother. We gotta like make it seem like we got like 10 cameras. We gotta like cut and then bring it back and she start the speech again. He didn't want to do that. It was just like clean cut, giving speeches, and then people previous that they were doing the same thing. These people had like thought out written responses and long drawn out speeches, and I'm just like, I gotta edit this. Like how when I'm supposed to cut to another scene or another angle? Like what are we doing? Like clearly like he's not following like directions or instructions. So it was he would get annoyed if you told him cut on something. Like he just wanted to keep talking, like, or he wanted a limelight. He wanted that public thing where everybody's like surrounding him. I'm just like, what? I don't know. Like, are we making a movie or this is a documentary? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what we're doing. So I was like, it was. Started noticing like problems. I ain't say nothing really though. I'll let the producer handle that. I'll just like, I'll say what's bothering like, hey, we can't do this or we can't do that, or he ain't giving me what we want. We probably need another take, but he won't ever give us that other take. We pretty much had to capture everything. I swear, like 1 or 2 times. He only give us like 1 or 2 takes on everything that he was in. We either got to catch it that first or second time, or it was a wrap. He wasn't doing it no more. So my experiences with him was pretty much. I wouldn't want to work with him again. I'm not gonna keep. I'm not gonna lie. Like I want to work with him again. But that was my experiences with Dr. Umar Johnson.